Hello, happy Halloween. So today I want to talk about not enough. This seems to be something that, we, not all of us tend to do, but I think like most of us do. I know I do it, that we think that there's not enough of something. So whether it be like there's not enough money, not enough clients, you don't have enough food, not enough clothes, not enough, whatever else really, like anything, like if you can think of like when are the times where it pops up and you're like, oh, there's not enough, like there's not enough housing, for example, there's not enough, oh my God, there's like so many things. Like there's not enough, like there's a shortage of this, there's a shortage of that. And that is all rooted in lack. But the thing is that lack coexists in the same place as abundance. And if you always believe of things not being enough, no matter which level of life you get to, you will always still see it as not enough. So like, let's say, you making like, I don't know, 60K a year. And then you get a new job and that jumps to 80K, which is like a huge significant jump. If your view on that 60K was not enough, then when you get to 80K, maybe at first you're like, oh, it's great. But then other things start happening. And then again, your mind shifts to that not enough. If you're looking at things such as like the housing shortage or like the rental market, yes, there's certain like concrete evidence that are showcasing that there is a housing shortage in, smaller towns, especially that they're tourist towns because of Airbnb and this and that. And I'm not disregarding that. But if you always view that there's a shortage and that there's not enough housing, then that is what will be presented to you, and that's what you will always see. But if you see it as like, well, there is an abundance of actual houses, then you're not lying, because all you're doing is you're looking at where the abundance lies. And then that shifts your mindset and your views towards what you're seeing and what comes through to you. Like people here in Tofino have told me, like, I'm like legit like the manifesting queen when it comes to like manifesting homes. And I have. And there was even like, I did actually have one opportunity for a 2-bedroom, and it was going to be like, the landlord was like, I'm all in, but I was the one who decided not to go for it, trusting my intuition. Even though, like I received that, and meanwhile, how everybody else is talking about that there's this housing shortage. So how do you view things is going to shift that reality. So if you always see it as like not enough, like if the money in your bank account is not enough, if you always open up your bank account and you look at what's in there and it's not enough, then that is what is going to be presented back to you. You're not opening yourself up to receiving more than, because what you see is not enough. So you're creating this like energetic block towards money. And so the shift is like, how can you shift your mind and your thoughts and your beliefs into seeing it that there's more than enough? And what happens is that like, if I were to tell you, like look at your bank account now and just like look at it as enough, like look at it as more than enough, you're going to be like, but Julie, I can't, because you already see it as not enough. And that's the evidence that you have created. That is this narrative and the story. And it is proof of what you're seeing is the proof. And so to shift through that is you need to collect evidence of the opposite. Collect evidence on what you do receive, or collect evidence where things have surprised you, like that you received more money in a month that you didn't think you would, or like when people buy you a meal, when people take you out for dinner, when you receive like a, like taxes back, from the government, whenever you receive money that you weren't expecting to come in, whether it's like a gift, an actual gift, whether it's a gift card, whether it's physical money, that is your collecting evidence. That is showing that you are open to receiving money. You are open to receiving more than. And so tapping into that aspect of like creating that list, like I have it on my phone and I create this list and I put in, I'm like, look at all the things I've received. Look at like the time someone bought me a coffee. Look at the time someone, paid for my meal. Look at the times that I received like a gift card. I look at the times that there's a random check in the mail that I wasn't expecting. And, and then include my actual income in there too. And I'm like, oh yeah. And on top of that, I'm making this amount. And this is like how using that evidence, showing me that I am abundant and that that I am attracting things. And so that is like step one, is collecting these evidence. And then when you find yourself in a place of like, it's not enough, or, something is not possible, or there's a lack of, or there's a shortage of, go back and be like, well, where were times that the opposite has happened, and prove yourself wrong. And tell yourself like, wait, if it happened then it can happen again. So why am I creating this narrative of like not enough? And what is that fear that's there? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing it all? Are you afraid that you're not worthy of it? Are you afraid of the past repeating itself? Like maybe once you like hit bankruptcy and you're afraid of it happening again. Are you afraid of reaching a certain level of wealth and afraid of what people are going to think of you? What is the fear that you're keeping yourself in this place of like not enough, and in this place of like a shortage of? Like even going back to like the housing situation, like I constantly see it in my reality on Facebook of like looking for housing. Like I haven't found anything, like because I'm in groups, both Tofino and Whistler, and they're both kind of going through a very, in the 3D world, a very kind of similar situation when it comes to housing. And people are like, haven't found it, like struggling. And I'm like, I see it and I'm like, okay, like that's the reality they're creating. But I know that more than once I've been able to find housing, and that I've been able to manifest housing like this, like no problem. Like I remember when I was like, oh, I want the 2-bedroom, and then it literally came right away, and I reached out and the guy was like, I would love to have you. And it was just like, it was just like intuitively certain things were like, not yet. And now I realize why. Now in hindsight, I realize why, and it has to do with my environment breakthrough that I had not too long ago. And that's like another story for another day, but it's just to show you that, the evidence does exist, and that all you need to do is just go back and look at times of like when you received and what you received. At that times where even when somebody like, loans you money, like whether it's a bank that loans you money, whether you put money on your credit card, whether your parents helped you out for that one time you were strapped, or your husband or your wife helped you out, those things count. And sometimes we push them away because we're like, because they were predictable, because we were expecting that money, or because we had no choice and we needed to ask for it. And we don't use that as collecting evidence. We're like, oh, well, whatever. Like it could easily just say like, oh, whatever. Like I was stuck and I needed help and I asked for help and I got it. Like, and grateful for it. But no, that's not part of the collecting evidence. Like, yes, it is. It is. And so this is how you start shifting that and really start seeing anything that comes to your reality comes to you as abundance. and start making note of it. Start noticing it and put it in your notepad. Like I was like, today I had an off day and I was like, if I got paid and I was just like, oh my God, it doesn't feel like enough. And then I went right back to my list and I was like, hey, Julie, like what have you received this entire month? What has come to you? And it was just like, I was like listing all the things and I was like, holy shit, this list is like long, like holy fuck, like I didn't expect this. And it's like shifting that mindset and training your mind over and over, because your mind likes to keep you safe. Your mind likes to keep you small. Your mind has the fears. And so this is where you can like shift it and be like, oh no, like I did receive a lot. Like, no, there is more than enough. Like I'm good. And so, yeah, I really wanted to tap into that because like I had it come up today and I really wanted to share with you my experience and like the guidance through this. So, if you like this video, please like, share, comment. I appreciate it all. This kind of work that I just like explained is like, it is very similar to the work that I do in the money work. Like actually, this is the work I do in the money program. That's what I meant to say. And it's like, it's right now running in through its beta version. We're like halfway through. So it's like really, really cool. And so I'm really enjoying running this program and I can't wait to see how it's going to evolve and shift through the future, because I already have ideas for the next round of like how I'm going to shift it, change it, and make it like exponentially better. So really excited for that. So I wanted to kind of like throw that in there just because I am excited about it and it is something that lights me up. So yeah, other than that, that is it for today. I will speak to you all tomorrow. Bye.